To be a better manager. To be a better man.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. It was a great speech, Michael. I'll try to follow it as best as I can. So tonight I'm going to inspire you to be your best. Specifically, how can you become a better manager? Now, I'm not talking about the job title manager necessarily. This could apply to your personal life, or simply if you have a knowledge of a business, this could help you dissect it. So I'm going to use a simple metaphor and view it in simplistic terms. Actually not a simple metaphor, but view it in simplistic terms because of the time constraints. But I want you to imagine an organization like it is an interlocked chain. It could also be like a web, but I like the chain metaphor better because you can imagine very hard metal rods all connecting together. It could look like a sphere, could look like a pyramid. And it's actually not a chain as you probably would think of it, because that'd be a very weird organization. But nonetheless, we have a set of dependent items all connecting together, all people, processes, investments, facilities. All of these things are very subtly connect together in your organization. And if you're a manager, you want to know all of those subtleties. You're not merely a link in that organization's chain and that organization's structure, but you have to take responsibility for the whole thing. Or maybe just a portion of the thing. And you have to narrow in on, once you have the knowledge of the subtleties, once you know every little thing about that organization, because you're going to lose. It's just the way the world is. You have to narrow in on what the weakest links are. Link or links. Those items that are holding your organization back. Could be something very subtle, such as some legal exposure you have in a certain part of your business. But you're not a lawyer, you could call one up, but you're not very aware of it. Or it could be something a little more obvious, such as a vendor or an employee that has a bad attitude or isn't doing the job right. Plain and simple. So, once you have a knowledge of your organization and you've narrowed in on the weakest links, here comes the hard part. And you have to stop here if you're not really in a position of authority in your organization, but it's still useful to have the knowledge. But now comes the skill. You should really pay attention here, because if you can master these skills, you'll be very successful in life, because these are very rare skills in my opinion. You have to be able to to deconstruct the weak parts of your organization and to pull it apart and reconstruct it again. And this isn't the metaphor that I'm talking about. It's not whacking a piece of metal, breaking it apart, and putting it back together again. No, we're talking about, like I said, people, processes, money, operating in real time. We're talking about things that are very messy in a very distracting, complex world. You better have these things mastered. You better know exactly what you want to change, and you better be sure that you want to make it permanent. Which is the last step, and the hardest step, even harder than making a change. Because a lot of people are in the position and will have the guts to make a change, but not a lot of people can construct a system that will keep that change into place for the long term. Jack Welch is a favorite CEO of mine. He's known for changing GE. That's one example you could look up. I'm not really going to get into that here. But basically, that is the conclusion. If you can follow this road of everlasting improvements, improving your organization, overcoming people's resistance to change, because everyone has that. We're very emotional creatures. We want to Once that new link is in place in your organization, you want to pull it apart, bring it back to the way it always was, because that is just the human condition and we have to deal with it. But as a manager, you have to rise above those sort of default human conditions and operate by inertia and sort of pull things to the lowest common denominator. And you have to change your organization and break through, as Tony Robbins might say, into a new, more efficient, better working tomorrow for your business life. And there's maybe some parallels to your personal life as well. I'll let you contemplate that. And then this will hopefully help you and inspire you all to be a better manager. Ms. Toastmaster.
Whoop.